Welcome to the .com Secrets December 12th, 2014 call. I'm Chris Brewer. Let's get into the content. Who's ready to roll today? Who's ready to learn a whole lot? This is going to be some cool stuff, and I would love to have everyone's feedback and attention on the call. I think you'll get a lot out of this. Question for everyone. What have been your winners and losers in 2014? So I'm talking about sales, your business, what was the other item? Sales, prospecting, your business overall, your customers. What have been your winners and your losers? Oh, services, any services that you offer. What have been the winners in your services? What have been the things that haven't worked so well? What have been the losers there? And your winners and losers, put them into the chat box, okay? And just for fun, what have been your whiners? So like what's driven you crazy or what's really bothered you, just go ahead and put that in there. And I'm going to go ahead and head into my winners and losers for 2014, and then we're going to list the whiners. And we'll, depending on how this goes today, we may create this as a first annual winners, losers, and whiners. And I might actually start doing like a trophy for the whiners and like sending them the trophy and making a big deal, kind of like the Razzies Awards for the worst movies. They do that. So put those winners in there, and then at the end of the call, I'll swing back and look at the chat, and we'll see how many of your winners and losers matched up with my winners and losers. So here's the my winners. Sales is a winner for me, just overall. But in terms of following up, has been a real winner. Where did my webcam go? There we go. Why does it keep going off, Josh? Okay. So following up has been a winner for me. This is one of the big things that people really just drop the ball on. And even for me, I'm really good in sales. I don't mind sharing that. I do a really good job closing a high percentage of the deals of the people that I talk to. But I can lose track, and I can forget about following up sometime. And so I really made an effort this year to use HighRise to help me keep all my deals in one place. And so just effective following up has really been a winner for me. The other thing is thoughtful prospecting. So not just going after things that I get excited about or I hear about a certain niche and then just starting to kind of make calls there, but really being more thoughtful in my prospecting. And that was really verified when we had the Sam Richter call about 6 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. And Sam was showing us about this advanced search techniques on Google and how you can use Google to get a tremendous amount of information on your prospects before you make calls. So that really was a good affirmation for me that taking my time and doing what I call thoughtful prospecting was a real winner. Free reports have been a winner. Putting a link on our site where traffic coming to our site can request a free online site report has been an effective lead generation tool for us, and I think just in general, even giving people a little something extra that they don't expect, so that when I give them a return email, I say, hey, I've also included a report that I put together for you. Those have been real winners for me in the sales category. Okay, so that was sales, and then, oh, my slide's not switching. Okay, and then in the services area, here's my winners in the services area. Pay-per-click and retargeting. We've talked a lot about that. Retargeting has been a big winner for us, and also selling pay-per-click. And I'll also show you a little bit later how pay-per-click can also be a loser. But the retargeting and playing off the ego and getting a business to see their own ads around the web, and also hearing from customers that they've seen their business in other places. But the winner was on-page analysis and optimization, that taking the time on a client's website before we start into the work of the SEO work or the other work we have, we always start with the site. This year we've done that more than else, and talking about their content and how it's laid out, and charging for reports and analysis of the on-page optimization. And that has been a real winner because it's allowed us to get more money up front, and in case the client doesn't move forward, we still have the money up front. And a really great service that we've been using for that is the website audits from Endless Rise. I know many of you are using Endless Rise through our partner services, but I'll tell you, that is the one area that we're going to be using more and more, are those website audits. They're very inexpensive, they got good markup on them, and they do a really good job. So that's what we've utilized there. The other items, YouTube ads. We talked about YouTube ads. Those have been an effective way for us to get clients moved up from AdWords into something else. YouTube ads have been effective. The other area that has been effective for us is identifying what their service set is going to be and then creating matched ad materials. Endless Rise does another good job with this, with all of their services in there. Everything has kind of matched sales materials that might be on their pro membership, which is why I see that a lot. But that has been a winner. Another winner, was that all my winners on services? I thought I had one more. Nope, that was it. So those are my winners in terms of the services. And then in terms of business overall, I mean, we're all on this call, we should be focused with creating businesses that are sustainable, businesses that are scalable. So here's a few of my takeaways. Now, some of these are unrelated to online marketing, but I thought I would mention those. One, companies are hiring. A lot more companies, as the economy has improved, are hiring, and as they hire more employees, they're going to be looking for more marketing services so that they can meet the existing demand and the demand that a bigger payroll has for them to keep business moving in. So those are things that you need to be thinking of and looking out for. Collaboration has been a huge winner. You know, when I started the Gold Standard Mastermind, I admittedly started it thinking, okay, I can help folks out. This is what they've been asking for, is for coaching. I can make a little extra money, you know, trading some of my time for money. But really what has happened is I've gotten just as much out of the mastermind as my members have, because we've been able to collaborate and share ideas and share information in a smaller group that we're comfortable sharing in a smaller group, and we've all benefited from that. So it could be collaboration from a mastermind or a coaching level. It could be collaboration even with your clients, finding out ways you can move closer in alignment to your clients. Collaboration, big winner. And for those, I wrote some notes on this. That there's two philosophies in business owners. One is a bunker mentality and a collaborative mentality. The bunker mentality is, we do what we do, and there's not much value in airing our dirty laundry for anyone on the outside. The collaborators actively look to gain insights from other professionals and experts, and I really do see the collaborators winning this year and into next year. So think about who you can effectively collaborate with. Tech companies, big winner in 2014. And hey, you're a tech company. You qualify as in that category. And you know, the bubble burst a long time ago, the tech bubble did, but really smart companies that can understand how to communicate the value of their services to their customers, they are going to continue to win. And those that are winning are continuing to get more and more, a bigger share of the pie. Another winner in business are companies that identified a sales strategy or plan and then put in the time to execute it. So how many of you at the beginning of this year identified, or some point this year, identified a sales strategy and a plan and actually put the time in to execute it? I'm betting that most of you on this call would probably put yourself in that box. Those are the true winners. Also, our members who have, even if they've waited for a while, they've gone ahead and created their own website. They have their own online marketing efforts to create a respectable brand. We've talked about making sure you're doing at least retargeting for your own website. We're doing that for Online Marketing Giant. Josh, I want you to make a note that we should probably do that for DCSlocal.com as we get closer to our new site. But Online Marketing Giant, if you go there, which I don't really want to retarget you guys. You're not really my target audience for that business. But it was kind of cool because people do notice that. And I'm going to get on my phone here because I want to show you something on the webcam. Josh, can I still see my webcam? Because I can't see it.
I can see you. I can see you.
So, okay. So my daughter was at school, and Google's got a huge network of sites where you can have your retargeting ads show up. And so I don't know if you can see this. I got to bring up my camera so I can see it. Okay. So here is a text my daughter sent me. Can you guys see that? Marketing on my school websites I see. Now, high schoolers are not my target audience, but it is a site on the Google network. And so you can see she was reading an article here, and I don't know if you can see it, but really down there at the bottom is our ad. So she sent me a screenshot of that. But it just shows that people will take notice, whether it's your daughter or anybody else. I didn't actually know that a school website was part of Google's retargeting network, that our high school, that I could run retargeting ads on my high school, my daughter's high school page. So, but those that create their own online marketing efforts are, I've seen as the winners this year. So those are my winners in the business category for this year, 2014. Also, companies who touch clients at least once a month with intelligent reporting. You'd think that's a no-brainer, but there's plenty of those that get out there and cash the checks and don't follow up with really good reporting. Intelligent reporting, not just throwing reports at them, but thinking about how you're going to discuss those reports with your clients. Those have been the winners. So everybody ready for the losers? Okay. Here are the losers. Okay. I was just reading someone's question. Jane Brown has some of the funniest comments she puts on these calls. Bad proposals and action plan is a loser. The easy button is a loser, and failure to just pick up insert your favorite expletive. Failure to just pick up the dang phone. All right. Now, bad proposals from the client because other companies prospect our clients, right? How many of you in the last 2 or 3 months have had a client say, I got this email from, or I had this call from, and that call made them nervous because that person was telling them things that were wrong with their website or their SEO or anything like that? Has anybody else had that experience in the last 2 or 3 months? They're all out there after our customers, okay? And this guy had actually sent a proposal, and because I have a good relationship with the client, he actually shared the proposal with me. Well, he told me he wasn't ever going to consider doing business with the guy. He just wanted to make sure that the things that the gentleman was pointing out were legitimate. And actually, he was pointing out things that were wrong with his AdWords campaign. And when I actually looked up the proposal, the things that were wrong were actually things that we were already doing. We were already adjusting bids for his keywords. We were already utilizing landing pages. So once I told the client we're already doing that, he felt great. And then he started opening up and talking about, you know what, the reason why I was never going to do business with this guy, his proposal, the content was great, but he actually put in low-resolution images he had scraped probably from other sites. Even his logo, which, I don't know, I probably shouldn't call out the company on the call. Let's just say the company sounded like a superhero name company. It was kind of weird, but it was low resolution. So all the images on the proposal were low resolution, and that really doesn't say a whole lot about how you care about your image. So bad proposals. The easy button is a loser. So I'm sure none of you have ever been guilty of this, of getting really interested in something you saw an email on and buying into the whole sales pitch and purchasing something. Wow, I just offered you a $97 product at the beginning of the call. Now, I didn't frame that as easy, really. You're going to have to read the YouTube guide. You're going to have to implement the steps in the guide to start selling that service to your clients. It is the easy button to get 23 pre-written emails that you can use for yourself and use as a drip responder or an autoresponder, but that's a good value. The easy button I'm talking about is trying to do things that are just like going to instantaneously bring you money, or do things quickly which really aren't going to solidify long-term customer relationships. It might bring in a good amount of money for a brief period, but it's not going to pick things up over the long haul. And so just pick up the dang phone. Really, all you got to do is sometimes just stop the email madness and stop picking up business cards that are just going to sit on your desk for a while, and pick up the phone. This is a letter here that was sitting on my desk since October 14th, and it was an e-commerce company, and I thought we do some work in the e-commerce field quite a bit. Maybe I should contact the owner, because the owner wrote me a letter. What do you think my chances are of actually reaching an owner of a big e-commerce company who sent me a letter? Anybody guess? What do you think my chances are? I couldn't find his email online or anything like that, so I just decided to pick up the phone. All right, I guessed what his email was, and I sent an email, and it bounced back. Well, I lost out on that one, so what I did is I picked up the dang phone, and I called the company, and I said, hey, and I was actually a customer of this company, so I said, hey, I'm one of your customers. I just tried to send your CEO an email to outline some things to him, and it bounced back. Would you happen to have his correct email address? Well, she said, well, I can't give you his email address, but he's in this morning. Would you like to speak with him? And so within a matter of minutes, I was in a conversation with the CEO of this e-commerce company, and by the end of the phone call, I have his email address, and I'm going to be emailing him some information on our Google Shopping campaigns. All right? That's what happens when you just pick up the phone. Nothing happens until you start a conversation. All right? So those are my sales losers. My losers on services is this list: old SEO, cheap websites, pay-per-click, what I call bolt-on, and then a failure to create a core product of high value, and instead choosing to grab the fastest, easiest way to sell the product, which makes client sustainability tough. I referred to that a little bit in sales. So old SEO, actually someone in our mastermind was, even up until early this year, regrettably still buying links from a large link farm. It's actually a link farm that we actually used to support on DCS Local back when all that stuff still worked, and it worked really well. But this gentleman was still using it, and it ended up causing some penalties on his client sites, and that was old SEO. The way he handled it, though, he was able to keep all the business and actually get increases from them. but really staying away from low-quality outsourcers, low-quality linking, low-quality, fast, easy SEO is not going to work. Cheap websites. We looked at our websites last year, and we weren't sure exactly how profitable that we were, and so we have drawn a line in the sand that we are not going to take below a certain level website design project. Absolutely got rejected from a customer today that spends $11,000 a month with us. So this client's spending $11,000 each month with us, and he wants to build a new 15-page website for a new brand he's creating. And normally we would charge about $8,800 for a site like that. We decided because he's spending that much money, we would drop that down to $7,200. The client said, "No thanks. I guess I'll just have to build it myself." He was a little upset that it was that high. But I explained to him that we've determined over the last 3 years what websites are going to make us money and what are going to not make us money and even potentially harm the client relationship. So, Mr. Customer, I'd really rather just take a pass if that seems too high for you. And he was very understanding, said, "I understand." I actually ended up emailing him a budget option where we would just do the design and install the theme, and that's it, for around $1,200. So he might take us up on that. What I think may happen is he'll buy that, and then he'll end up saying, "Well, give me help with the rest." And by the time it's all said and done, he may spend $8,000. So that's the way it just works sometimes. But don't do cheap websites. If you got a website from Endless Rise for $800 or $900 or whatever your cost is going to be on that, you better be charging at least $5,000 for it, because there's going to be a lot more time built into that than you think. Another loser is pay-per-click bolt-on, just bolting pay-per-click onto a client campaign without really understanding it, without having a good outsourcing company to use for that. So in terms of the losers on business, not planning to scale your business is a loser. If you have a lot of prospecting going on and you're closing deals, but you don't have the infrastructure, you will kill yourself or kill your team. So make sure you put some planning into, if we get 5 additional customers this month, how are we going to handle it? If we get 20 additional customers this month, how are we going to handle it? We actually may be turning down a deal because we think we could actually get 2,000 customers in the first month from it. And it's to a very large national organization. They're very excited about having us promote to them. But we think at a certain percentage level, if we got even, we could probably handle 200 customers in a month if we kick them off at different levels. But the client turned down our request to start with just a small sample audience. So we may actually walk away from a pretty big deal just because we know we couldn't scale to that level. I don't know if we ever want to scale to that level, but not planning to scale is a loser. Not having a business plan is a loser. Not having a secure sales strategy, and that should have an S on it. So if you're just running from one sales strategy to another, I'm going to sell reputation, and then maybe I'll sell SEO, and I saw this email for this telephone calling system, so I'm going to buy that, and that's going to solve all my problems. You will never be successful. You will just go from one hot button thing to another. There's the thing I was referring to, jumping from one strategy or tactic to another. This is important, before troubleshooting, why didn't the first one work? Okay, I bought that reputation system from DCS Local. I'm still paying for it. Why do I want to cancel that and move on? Have I really implemented what I needed to implement? Have I really followed the process that Chris has trained me to do in terms of getting that sold? Have I done everything that I need to do before I move on? Again, otherwise you would just be chasing your tail in this business and be part of the 90% who never makes the kind of money that they would like to do, instead of the 10% that are doing well and having the lifestyle they want from this business. Failure to read your own content. If you're getting content from Endless Rise or another writing source and you're just sending that along to your customer before you're proofreading it, that is a really bad idea. I'll give you an example. It happened to us this week. This is one you can feel free to chuckle at our expense. It's okay. And this really isn't about failure to read your own content as much it was failure to pay attention to the details. We use a press release service that you cannot cut and paste your copy into. It has to be typed into the fields. And the sub-headline on this press release was a major shift in communications technology. A major shift in communications technology. So the attention to detail that was missed on this, and as was actually published on our client's website and on the World Wide Web for a very large national company, was, and for those of you that are sensitive to profanity, cover your ears, but it was a major shit in communications technology. She had a typo and missed the F in shift. And our client had to bring that to our attention. Not a good day at the office. And we learned a lesson from that, and the lesson was obviously pay attention to detail, but also the clients don't remember the mistakes that you make. The client remembers how you responded to the mistake. Now, this is a client that spends 4 figures with us a month. And our response was an immediate apology letter explaining exactly how the error happened, that we couldn't, they had already approved content, we can't cut and paste it, we have to type it in, it was a typo, it was not caught, but we have immediately removed it. You only get about 1% of your total traffic from that resource. It's possible no one has even seen it other than you, and we have already implemented steps so this won't happen again. We're no longer going to be using that press release vendor, and we will not bill you for your next months of services. So we went over and above, and we thought we were going to lose the client, and instead the client's response back to us based on our overwhelming response to them to handle it was appreciate the explanation and thank you for your generous offer. So we actually left it, and I'm betting in San Diego when we have dinner with this client in February that we'll probably be able to get a little laugh out of it. All right? So those are my losers in business. Also, this may sound a little self-serving since I'm a coach and I have a mastermind. So be it. It freaking works. Failing to hire, to have a network that you can work with, or having a coach or being a part of some kind of mastermind to help you, those are parts that you can really lose out on. And I'm only speaking from our members. And so my whiner is government. All right, I'm not a big government fan. I don't care whether you're a Dem, a Republican, a Libertarian, a communist. I really don't care. Government has been a real whiner for me this year. No communication, no commitment, no action, and everybody defending their turf. I am done with it. Okay, so that's it on that. Boomers and millennials is a whiner for me. This is a group that, the boomers, they want loyalty and a willingness to put in the time from their staff. Millennials want teams and a chance to make an impact with a company. They really can have both, but there's been a huge amount of conflict in the workplace with boomers and millennials. We've had our own challenges here at OMG with just learning to work with the millennials we have here. Josh is a millennial. Sarah is a millennial. We got a couple millennials, I think we got at least 2 millennials. Really happy with their work, but it has gotten some adjustment. I mean, it's good that we have a team environment here that's worked for them, but you do have to be aware of those differences in generations. Whiners, for me, are the 95% who quit. This is just a whiner for me of anybody who gets, I just see so many people get into this business, whether it's DCS local, whether it's under Mike Cooch, whether it's under Kevin Wilkie, whether it's under multiple people, David Sprague, you name it. We all can share the stories of the 95% who quit, who gave up. So my take on that, your failure to implement and take action is not my failure. Whenever we do a launch, we always have people who buy, who fail to implement, and then want a refund saying it was something about the program when in reality, really, they just didn't implement, take action. The 5% who are doing well continue to get better and better. And this is just a shout out to my wife, who I'll give you some more information on this, but my wife has got a course that shows how to sell on Amazon. My wife got this course on Amazon, and she's been working through it. And some of the folks who wrote that course, they've told me that closer to 99% of the people who buy that course never get to the point of actually selling a product on Amazon. And so I'm really proud of my wife, who's basically been a stay-at-home mom our entire marriage, VP of Home Affairs, which is a tremendous career in and of itself and one I could never do. But she, after June, when I found out about this summer from some friends, she took the course. She didn't know anything about this. And since June of this year, she's taken the course. She has come up with a brand. She has talked to a supplier in China. She has sourced a product in China. She has designed the packaging. And this week, we got her product in the mail, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And we got 1,000 units that left China yesterday for the Amazon Fulfillment Center. And so that's my wife, who just stuck with it, implemented. We're about $8,000 in right now, so I'll let you guys know how that turns out. But yesterday she was excited and went into a local feed store. We live out in the country. Went into a feed store and just for some advice asked the guy what he thought about her product. And he actually said, I'd like you to talk to my distributor. We might actually be interested in buying all those from you. So before she even gets it onto Amazon, she's got somebody who's interested in her product. So that is that's my list of whiners and my little shout out for my wife there. My other whiner is just small business owners. I think you all can relate to this. And Josh, I don't think I've said that word one time since you told me to quit saying that word. So small business owners, they do so many freaking things so poorly. That was for you, Josh. They do so many things poorly, and they're sleeping in the bed they made, which is poor sales. They've got crappy websites. They don't have mobile responsive websites. They haven't still claimed their Google Places accounts, many of them, and they're whining about it. But you can be the hero if you're patient enough and you have the right approach. And that's going to be the key, because there is still so much opportunity out there, but it still bugs me when I get a small business owner that just complains about their situation when they have all the resources to change that. So those are my winners, my losers, and my whiners for 2014. Did you guys? I'm out of here.